I don't understand. Okay, so a lot of our content has been getting positive comments, and I really love that. I think it's super, super dope. A lot of people talking about, hey, they want to experience this, or they are experiencing this type of love and all that stuff, and I think that's fire. But the negative stuff that comes on there is kind of like blows my mind because it's a lot of projections or people not really fully listening to the video or people just reading the title and coming up with a whole story or a narrative about who they think we are and what they think we're doing. And it kind of like, I guess it blows my mind because I'm like, mugs are really creative. Like they're actually really creative on the social media space when it comes to them commenting. And I'm like, damn, like if you're this creative, you should create your own content instead of coming on other content that you don't agree with or that you don't like or that makes you feel some type of way. Just create your own shit. Just don't come on this stuff. Like
pretty much.
Just don't engage with things that you don't like. Like, right? Or
and people unfortunately don't understand, man, that you are quite literally attracting into your world online the exact stuff that you supposedly don't want because you're interacting with it.
Yeah.
Like, why interact with things that you don't like, you don't agree with, that don't inspire you or whatever? Like, why engage with things that literally don't bring you joy?
Right.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because you are funneling all of that negative stuff into your literal everyday content that you see in here. You're funneling in all the crap that you supposedly don't want or agree with.
Right.
Why do that?
I don't know. I never think to do that, so I don't even understand the concept of that.
And think about it. Like people are literally attracting in the same crap that they don't want into their lives online, and they think they're not doing it in their real life.
Right.
You're also attracting into your real life, the one you live in the world every day. You're doing the same thing in real life. From your relationships to your health to whatever. You got to take you with you wherever you go.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it looks like.
Right.
You got to take you with you. So that same destructive mindset and mentality that you have online is showing up right there with you everywhere else you go offline. You don't get to be two different people, boss. You are still the same you at the core until you start to work on you at the core. This is the current state of the human condition. People are being mass influenced and don't know that they're being mass influenced.
Right.
And they're not choosing their influences.
Right.
They're not choosing the ideas and the beliefs and the thoughts and things like that that they want to have. They're fighting against everything and everybody that shares a different idea or belief of them. And they don't even know why they think and believe that they do, because all they've done is consume.
Right. Somebody tried to argue with me on, a guy tried to argue with me on Instagram about, well, we have different perspectives and I feel this way. I'm like, yes, like we have different perspectives. I think differently because I'm me and my experiences are differently than yours. And like he was trying to go back and forth with me about how it was like he was making a comment that was like contradicting his own comment. I'm like, just like I create content that relates to me and my experience, you can do the same thing. So why would you try to force your perspective on me when I'm not trying to force it on you? I'm saying, hey, do whatever you want to do, but I'm just sharing my perspective and my views on marriage and being a wife, and my husband's doing the same thing from his point of view. Why are you so mad? If we're both saying the same thing, we both own our own perspective. So why are we fighting? What is the point of this? Even going back and forth, but I eventually just was like, okay, whatever. Sometimes there's just no point in going back and forth because some people are so stuck in whatever that is, because I don't even know what to name it at that point. Delusion. Delusion. That they can't even see the delusion. Like they don't even see that that's a problem. I don't know. I think the internet is really blowing my mind even more so now because we're being more intentional about our content, especially for yours. Like, I love your content. I mean, I kind of help you with it, but I love your content. I think it's so dope, and I think your message needs to be heard. But I find it odd that men are getting offended by your point of view. Like, if you don't like it, then just scroll on, just keep scrolling on, or I don't know. But these are the same men who say, you know, I don't want my woman to argue, or I don't want chaos, or you're literally coming on the internet to argue with a man
you don't know from nowhere.
You don't know from nowhere who's saying that he loves his wife.
And you want
to argue about that, but you don't want your woman in your life to argue with you. That needs to sit a little bit for a second.
And you literally go out and pursue chaos and arguments and dysfunction online on your own free time. You choose to do that. You think you're not doing that in your real life too? You sitting over here talking about you want a woman to bring you peace, but you are bitter and hurt online, projecting your insecurities on everything and everybody that you don't agree with, arguing with people you don't know, and you think a woman is about to be able to come into your life and heal all of that when you literally make the conscious decision on your own time to go online and argue with people you don't know just because they share a different belief or perspective than you. You ain't got the freaking mental capacity to just scroll by it, ignore it, or be quiet.
Uh-oh.
Mr. I'm peaceful.
Well,
what woman finna be able to fix that?
Right.
Because you crazy if you think you're not doing that in your real life.
Right.
You see a 30-second, 1-minute clip, and you create a whole scenario in your head about what you think it's about, and you think you can effectively communicate with a woman when you can't even take the time to listen to the whole video, read the caption, and at least attempt to ask follow-up questions to get full understanding.
Right.
You can't even do that online where you can slow down, pause, read stuff, ask questions, whatever, to get the full picture. If you ain't doing that online where you can slow down or just ignore it, you definitely ain't doing that in your real life.
Talk about it.
You got to take you with you wherever you go. And the same habits that you probably got online, you probably got in your real life too. You're a fool to think you don't.
Anywho, that's what it is. He said what he said.
a point that I am adamant about standing on these days is the fact that marriage, love, and commitment freaking matters.
Yes.
But at the same time, if the people who are experiencing this, this love and this commitment and that are enjoying it and happy about it, we also have to be willing to defend it, because if we don't, the foundation and the value of whatever it is can literally just be up for attack by any and everybody that wants to attack it. And we may think that it's not our problem because we just want to be happy in our own bubble. But the people who think differently, the people who are out here attacking the union that you have, eventually, in the grand scheme of things, it is going to impact your life in one way or another. And if it's not yours directly, it'll be your kids. It'll be somebody who gets in a political office, makes something that attacks the foundation of what your whole freaking life and union stands on. So if you don't defend it, then what do you look like expecting somebody else to do it?
Right.
If we don't stand for love, if we don't stand for the values that mean something to us, especially the positive ones, the productive ones, the ones that actually make us better, because we all, to some degree, know that we need each other.
Right.
If somebody's watching this on a phone, a laptop, whatever, you needed another human being to make that possible. Somebody had to think of it. The couch you sitting on, the TV you watch, the phone in your hand, all of that came from another person who you may not think so, but you depend on them to make your life easier. Mm-hmm. We understand that everywhere but in our intimate relationships. Right. You would be crazy to think that you wouldn't become better just by allowing yourself to become better and letting somebody come into your life who you've aligned yourself with based off of your vision, your values, what's important to you, whatever, and building something together with that person to make both of you better. You'd be crazy to think that don't add value to you.
Right.
What are we doing here? We have gotten to a point today where people are so comfortable fighting for their doubts and their limitations, and they don't even realize the fact that they get online literally trying to find people to rally around their limiting beliefs. Wow. You don't want love, but you want to sit over here. No, let me say that another way. You want love, but you want to sit over here and argue with people and bash people that have it. But you still offline talking about how bad you want it. You want to sit over here and bash women and talk down on them, knowing that you want one in your life, but yet you're not even giving out the same love, honor, and respect. How can you expect to get that back?
They say they want it and they deserve it. But then don't realize what they're putting.
Deserve it.
Yeah, and then they're putting out trash into the world. Do you really think that that's okay?
What are we doing here?
Right.
And the fact that people are so... I'm going to slow down on this one. And I say this, man, speaking for my gender counterparts. We think that we are logical, but we are in a state right now to where men are more emotionally triggered, and God knows I hate using that word, now more than ever. I've never seen so much hate and bitterness and just hurt verbally and all of that stuff just being spat out all over the place online by men, and they think that they're men by doing that. It'd be one thing if you was promoting something of value and meaningful and impactful and actually trying to help people, but you just spitting up whatever crap is running through your mind randomly based off of your hurt feelings of an experience that you had because you made a bad decision and you think that you a logical alpha male. Because you got a unsubstantiated opinion about some bull crap because you had a bad day.
Right.
Or you made a bad choice.
Right.
Moses tripping.
Yeah.
In other news, how are you processing all of this crap, babe?
How am I processing it? It's a process. It's definitely a process. I find myself laughing now more than anything, because when we first started doing the show and doing our content, like my feelings would really be hurt from like the things that people would say about us, because people would create like whole narratives about who they think we are and what we're about, and just nonsense that I could never even imagine. I'm like, damn, like y'all are really some creative ass motherfuckers. But now it's just like, you know what? When you really stand for something and you really believe in something with all your heart, which I do believe in marriage, I believe in love, I believe in the family unit. When you really stand for something and there's so many other people who stand for nothing, you gotta be ready to defend it. You gotta be ready to fight for yours.
Absolutely.
And when I say, like, when I'm on the internet, I'm like, you know what? Like, I see what y'all saying on the internet, but I'm really about this life in real life. Like, when I talk, like, I'm really about this. Like, I'm going to defend it online, but I can defend it in person too. So it's like, damn, like, I'm trying to make sure that my point is coming up across very, very clear, but I will defend it to the death of me. And I think that's what marriage and love is about. I think that's what the family unit should be about. Like, I will defend my family, my honor, like all of that to the death of me. And that's just what it is. So whoever has anything to say about it can get these words. Like, they can get these words because they can't get these hands right now. So you can get these words because, like, I have people. So on my personal IG page, I have people hit me up and they're like, you should just not respond to the negative comments and all this. I'm like, if they said this shit to me in person, I will respond. What's different? What's any different about, me responding online? I'm like, if I let somebody talk to me crazy online, they're going to think that that's okay. If I'm letting somebody talk down about my marriage, what I believe, they're going to think that that's okay and that they're right. No, I might be wrong, but this is what I believe. You know what I'm saying? So people need to stand on what they believe in and not be afraid to voice that. I think too many people are afraid to say what they believe because they care about what people on the internet think. People they don't even know. Who cares what they think? If you believe in it, the way you say you do in your head, you should have no problem voicing that opinion to anybody. Yeah. And if they don't agree, that's fine. But that's the dope thing about the human experience is that we all have so many different perspectives. Right. We all have so many different opinions to share. You should share. Long as you ain't causing no actual harm, like it should be okay to share your opinions and perspectives and be okay with conversing about it. Just to understand different sides.
Right.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at with it. Me being a wife, you don't know that about being a wife until somebody tells you about being a wife or until you are a wife.
Yeah.
You don't know what that experience is like. So me telling you, okay, well, this is what it's like from my perspective, this is the life of a wife, or this is the married life. This is how we've dealt with things in our marriage. This is how I've dealt with things as a wife from my perspective. And he's
married to me,
married to you. Yeah. How we've dealt with things married to each other because our marriage is different than other people's marriage. But it's the fact that nobody talks about I ain't gonna say like the details, but the things that you won't know about marriage until you're in it.
Yeah.
And again, even that it's going to be different depending on who you are, because our marriage is completely different than people that we know that are married. Mm-hmm. But it's just dope to just know that perspective. Like, I never thought about that. Like, I never even thought that's something a wife would deal with in a relationship. That's something a husband would deal with. Oh crap, y'all still dealing with your own individual stuff while you're Yes. Yeah. There's still self-work in marriage. Mm-hmm. Yes. There's self-work, and then there's self-goals, and then there's relationship goals, and then there's relationship work. It's a lot of it. It's a lot of moving pieces, but nobody knows about that because so many married couples are making funny content, making people laugh, which is fine. You do your thing. And a lot of single people are making relationship content.
Giving advice.
The shit is ass backwards, in my opinion. If you have not created your own successful relationship, successful meaning you are with this person still. Y'all have built something together. Y'all love being with each other. Y'all actually create relationship goals with each other and are moving in the direction that y'all have aligned and have made vision and clarity for. That's the direction we need to be moving in. That is a successful relationship, in my opinion. But people are making funny videos, and it's like, well, yeah, that's cute and that's funny, but it's not giving anybody any value. It's not really showing people like, okay, marriage is really a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. It's not going to always be funny moments like this. Right. But I get, a lot of people don't feel obligated to share, which that's fine too. Mm-hmm. But don't complain about shit then. Don't be like, oh, these single people kind of weird. Like when you ain't trying to help nobody.
Add value to it.
Yeah.
You know what's wild is the fact that even in realizing everything that you just said and how true it really freaking is at this point, it's the fact that people don't understand, man, that like you said before, like, man, silence is consent.
It is.
And if you allow people to tear down the value that is marriage and commitment and all of that stuff, you are allowing all of the opposing voices to be louder and to become the dominating perspective. Not because you actually agree with it, just because you're not saying anything against it. Mm-hmm. And when things start to move in the world that don't favor you and your love and your marriage and what you stand for and your family values, you will have to deal with the collateral damage of your silence. Because when stuff started happening, you was too focused over here on doing whatever the hell else, and minding your business. Boss, at this point in time today, showing up online and being able to give value and stuff like that, it's not everybody's thing. But for those of us that it is, we need to be loud about it because it does impact us.
It does.
There's, without being specific, groups of people out here who have been able to change the world.
Yeah.
Because of their dominant, very loud vocal opinions.
Yeah.
And they may be the smaller percent of people. But when you got people that are that highly opinionated and bold enough to say something, when the other 90% that may not agree with it are quiet and refuse to speak up, then we have a problem. Because now the 10% are literally changing the world of the other 90% because they have silently consented.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of comments where was from guys where they're saying, oh, well, just keep your marriage and stuff with your woman quiet, like keep it in your household and stuff like that. Like, but how is that helping anybody? Like, we've decided as a collective, like we have decided together that we want to create content that talks about marriage, that talks about the family unit, that talks about you as a husband and me as a wife. We've decided to do this. We've decided to make content to provide new perspectives and possible solutions to a problem we didn't create. That is the whole point of our content. And the fact that people are more okay with seeing negative things about relationships on social media instead of positive things says a lot. Why are you so offended by positive outlooks on marriage and relationships, but when you see something negative, you're like, oh yeah, I already knew it was like that. Women are like that, or men are like, no, you need to see these positive outlooks because it's going to show you that there is more to relationships. There's more to marriage than the negative things. Yeah. So I don't know, it just blows my mind how people are more okay with, I guess it's more normalized to see negative things about relationships or negative things about marriage.
Because people have a natural negative bias and don't even know it, that it's more attractive.
Yeah.
It's more attractive to be negative.
Right.
Like if you spend any amount of time on YouTube, don't watch a video, just scroll and look at the thumbnails. They are majority of them are there meant to trigger some type of negative emotion based off of whatever the goal of the person is.
Right.
They are literally catering towards a person's fear because as humans in this human condition, we are geared towards having a negative bias that you have to choose to get rid of.
Yes.
And then do the work to get rid of it. And most people don't even know that they have it. And how you going to fix a problem you don't know you have?
Yeah.
Most people we're groomed for it.
Yeah.
And so you actually have to choose to renew your mind, rip out the old and put something new in to start thinking differently.
Yeah.
And like I was saying before, man, people have gotten to a point today where they like to fight for their doubts and their limits. And they get online and what they do is they try to look for other people to validate their destructive thinking and feelings when it ain't even serving them. It's like you got a negative outlook on marriage. You got a negative outlook on women and men or whatever the case may be. And you looking for other people to justify it when it ain't even serving you.
Yeah.
Why do that? And then when we sitting over here talking about stuff that's positive or helpful in our relationship, you get upset because it's not the same way that you think. Boss, if you were smart, what you would do is, at least ask yourself, I wonder how they came to that conclusion after 10 plus successful years of being together. Maybe they know something I don't. Why in the world would you sit over here and think that your opinion is valid in the lives of somebody else that you don't know, who's living their own human experience and their own lives together, and you want to project your own limiting beliefs and insecurities on them when they don't have your life? And if you can't relate to it, boss, keep scrolling. If you can't learn something from it, keep scrolling. Stop interacting with stuff that ain't serving you until you get to a place where you can learn how to allow it to serve you. That is the mature, keeping it current, masculine thing to do. It's like the roles have reversed these days, boss.
Listen.
Like there's a moment where being quiet is actually beneficial.
Right.
Like, and you can be smart enough or mature enough to look at certain types of content or messages or whatever and just try to find like, all right, is there some truth in this? Is this way of thinking about it more productive than the one that I have right now? But most people don't even know what they want their life to look like. They don't know the perspectives that they need to have in order to have whatever those outcomes are. People are literally just out here living through whatever their idea of the world is through a freaking screens on the phone. And they like to fight for their freaking limitations because nobody has told them that that's a freaking bad idea. And if you give them a secondary opinion or thought on it, they want to fight for that too, even though they don't even want it. It's weird out here.
It is weird.
And the fact that people think it is okay to bash somebody else's love because they've had a bad experience is freaking a mental health illness. Like you need professional help.
Right.
To think that is a problem, that somebody else is not experiencing the same pain and heartache that you had. And that because that happened to you, you need to force that all on other people who are living a completely different experience. I'm sorry that happened to you, but because that happened to you don't mean that that's meant to happen everywhere.
Right.
That would be kind of dumb.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb. Like, it's like thinking ain't even, it's like you don't even try to think no more.
They don't know. What I've noticed is like there's been a few comments where somebody will say something stupid. They'll say something dumb like, oh, he probably cheating, or oh, she probably cheating. And then like I'll comment back and I'm like, okay, well, that's, unfortunate that you would think that somebody possesses those ain't shit qualities that you do. But it's really not cool to like project that type of stuff on people. And then they would reply with such an eloquent comment. And I'm like, damn, so you're capable.
You just don't use it.
You're capable of thinking. You are a thinking man. You just chose to put some bullshit out there. That you made an actual choice to put some bullshit out when you could use your brain. You have the capability, because there's a difference between if you just dumb and you just dumb. Like,
Right.
Okay, you just ain't got it. Okay, whatever. But you came back with such an eloquently written comment. And I'm like, so where was that on the first comment? Like, why you couldn't say some shit like that before? Like that, and that's what blows my mind. It's not that you're not capable. You just come on here to play and bullshit. That's what you come on here to do. And then you play and you bullshit in your real life. And then you get these things where somebody cheats on you or where you cheat on them. And then you want everybody else to experience the same nonsense that you have gone through, even though you are the one that's making it happen.
Because you got to take you with you wherever you go.
Jesus Christ.
And
people want us to be cheaters and liars and stuff so bad. They want that for us so bad. And I'm like, that's unfortunate.
And it's wild because I can literally be online and say, I could say that I love my wife, that she's my world, that she's my everything, that she's helped make me the man that I am today, and get called a simp for that.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a happy, productive marriage with the woman who adds value to my life and who's helped make me a better man, and get called a simp for that because I've became better inside of my marriage. That makes no sense to me. And then it's usually coming from people who have been unsuccessful in their relationships, but then they think that our happiness is a problem because it didn't work out for them that way.
Right.
Not realizing that whatever negative outcome you had, you played a part in it.
Yeah.
It's not all your partner, because even the fact that they were in your life, you had to allow it. So where were your values? Where was your vision? Where was your discipline? Where was your standards when you allowed that nonsense to come into your life?
Come on.
And then on top of that, if you sitting over here calling me a cheater or saying that I'm lying and all of this other stuff or whatever, 9 times out of 10, boss, you feel like that because you know that there's some truth to that in your own life.
Come on.
That you've been doing that. Because a lot of the times the difficulties and the struggles and the friction that people get back in their relationships is really just them getting back a whole bunch of stuff that they've already done. And they think that the moment that they fall in love or finally find something that seems worth it, that all of their dirt is supposed to just go away. Boss, you are dealing with collateral damage and karmic debt. That is your problem. Right. And you are not at a point yet to where you can take accountability and responsibility for the role you played.
Come on.
That's the real problem.
Right.
So you go online projecting your bull crap on other people because can't nobody else be happy in real life.
Right.
This is not the destiny of a black man. Ain't nowhere in the world he's happy with a black woman.
Right. That part.
How could that possibly be a real thing? Because black women are mad and they don't like black men. And they bougie and they all of this other stuff. Boss, whatever issues you have is because of the decisions that you've made. I promise you, the negative projections or perceptions that you've gotten of women online is 9 times out of 10 nothing like what your real life is. But what you do is you go into a relationship, you got this preconceived idea of what you think that woman is about to be like. So you treat her like it, not even knowing that you're doing that. And you get back everything that you deserve, because in order for you to get a better thing, you have to be able to acknowledge that better thing and treat it as that better thing.
Come on.
Because if you don't do that part first, you can't get the better thing back. You are living your consequences of your lack of freaking intention and doing stuff on purpose. That is your real problem. And you don't know it, so you can't fix it. Man, who texts me?
That's just mom.
Dude, okay. Yeah. So this is the current state of the human condition.
It is.
This is the current state.
Man. It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because we get so many. We get so.
I'm listening, but
no. Well, if we use it as a clip, we get so much positive feedback from women. Like, so many women are like, yes, I love this. Or the women who are like, yes, I'm like this about my man, or my man is like this about me. And it's like, it's literally hundreds. At this point, probably thousands.
No, it's thousands.
Thousands of comments from women who love it and who desire this thing. And I'm like, and it was even a lot of guys in there too. It was a lot of guys in there who would like, yeah, like, this is how I want to feel about the woman that I'm with, or this is what I want to create for my woman. Like, and I'm like, oh my God, like, that makes me so happy. Like, yes, we do get a lot of negative stuff, but the positive definitely outweighs the negative. And that makes me so happy, because I'm like, there's still hope. Yeah. There's still hope. People still do desire this, which makes our content more important. Yeah. It makes it more valuable, because people do want these things. Even the people who are silent, even the people who ain't saying nothing, they do want this. And I think that's in their own way. Obviously, they want this in their own way. And I think that's dope.
You know what? And that's why we can't be quiet. Right. Like, we have to be loud about our love, because there's other people out there who are going to be loud about their hate and about their insecurity and about all of that other crap. So we got to be loud about it, and we got to be willing to defend it, because there's going to be somebody who's scrolling through our comments looking for a reason to continue to pursue love, looking for a reason to continue to pursue marriage and having a meaningful relationship. And if they see us bow out every time somebody says something negative, all that's going to do is further make the voices of those that are hurtful and negative and hurt and all that crap, it's going to make their points louder. And no, somebody needs to be willing to defend the value of freaking marriage and commitment, because there's so many people out here who are living it and experiencing it and enjoying it. And it is such an amazing thing.
It is.
But we got to be willing to defend this thing too, because even though not a whole lot of married people may be willing to do what we're doing,
which is fine,
which is cool. That's completely okay. But for those of us that are willing, we got to stand up and be ready to speak on it and defend it when necessary, because somebody's out there looking. And if you got a guy who's looking for the type of love that we're talking about, but all he doing is seeing a whole bunch of other men talking about, oh, you a simp, you a sellout, you in the sunken place, and all that other crap. Unfortunately, what he may end up becoming is just like those same other bitter, hurt dudes. And he not even going to be aware of it when he does eventually find his way into a relationship, if he ever does, because he's going to be over here trying to freaking validate himself based off of the opinions of other men rather than the opinion of the woman that he with. We got dudes today that are literally just regurgitating and spitting out crap that they've heard from other men because they want to impress dudes more than they want to impress the woman that they with. And that makes no sense. Why do you want to sit over here and validate the hurt and the insecurities and all of this other crap of other dudes who going through the same pain that you going through, rather than being present with the one that you love and investing yourself into that and growing and making each other better? Because it's good over here. It's real good over here. It's harmonious over here. Like, it is so freaking fulfilling over here. And the fact that you can be with somebody who you can be your whole self with and know that you're loved and appreciated and valued and all of that stuff, man, the way you can give all of you and they give all of you, all of them back.
Yes.
This is a good place to be in.
It is.
And it ain't no bitterness and jealousy and all of this other crap, man. Listen, you better find somebody in your life worth fighting for something like this, rather than joining the miserable hurt community of people out there who want to speak against it just because they can't have it. That sounds like some real bum shit.
Yeah, I be confused. Because it was a few comments where they're like, a lot of dudes were like, you know, stay single king, don't follow this, and just basically don't pursue women. And I was really confused. I'm like, okay, well,
what's the alternative?
If you don't pursue women for relationships, then what are you going to pursue for relationships? Or who are you going to pursue for relationships? Because
take that how you want it. What's the alternative?
What's the alternative? And it's just real. Like, I'm like, why wouldn't you want to be with a woman who loves you, who can help you on your journey and who you can help on your journey? Like, we've been together so damn long. We've been together so long. I can't even imagine not having you in my life. I can't imagine being who I am right now without you here.
Same here.
Like, it's like,
I love my wife.
Like, how can you not want somebody who got your back through everything by your side? Like, how can you not want that?
In real life.
How can you be okay with like, oh, I'm going to just be single for the rest of my life and just mosey on and not have any connections at all? What? I'm going to just get this money. Okay. Is that valuable to you? Like, is just getting money that valuable to you when you don't have nobody or nothing to spend that money with or spend that money on? Any experiences you can share with somebody? Is it really is getting a bag really worth your loneliness, your misery, your bitterness?
And that's the wild part, because people are so focused on the end product, which is money. Man, you can do so much bad stuff to get money.
Right.
You can do so much bad stuff to produce a dollar figure.
Right.
And people pay so much attention to that rather than the service and the value that they provide to other people, which is literally what marriage is. It's two people serving and providing value to one another for a lifetime. In business, it's you providing service or value to a customer and client with the end result of it being monetary compensation. It's just the payout in a marriage sometimes shows up in money, fitness, better health, mindset, whatever. And that contributes to everything else in your life, your kids, your generational wealth, whatever is magnified and is multiplied. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And people don't understand. They be like, oh, you serve your wife? Yes, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yes, my wife serves me because that's what she does.
Yeah. And people get so hung up on
the
words.
It's the word.
Yeah.
And it's triggering.
It's true.
With your soft ass. It's triggering.
Serving, investing, whatever you want to say, it's all the same shit. You're in each other's life to make each other's lives better. Because if not, why are you together?
Right.
If I'm not here trying to make you better, I should not be with you.
Pretty much.
Period. Because what's even the point? So I'm just going to come be in your life and just take. No, the fuck. No, I need to be serving you also and vice versa.
That's providing value on purpose.
Marriage is a mutually beneficial relationship. It should be. It should be.
With two people giving their best effort to one another.
Exactly.
And it can't be selfish. Like there's some selfishness in it.
Right.
But even in those moments, that selfishness is for the collective.
Right.
To make each other better. Ultimately, everything funnels back in to the one thing. And the one thing is how can we continue to grow and to become better for each other in the grand scheme of what we want our lives to be. Period. So even my most selfish moments is for us. When I need to do self-work, when I need to work on me, when I need to fix my mindset or whatever I got going on, that makes us better.
Absolutely.
And we have to take moments like that all the time in our relationship.
Yes.
Like it is so much bigger than what people think it is. It's like people don't understand that you need personal development inside of your marriage, inside of your relationship, because you have to constantly be becoming a better version of yourself for yourself and for the person that you're with. Because if you don't grow, you're dying. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And you have to find out how to do that individually and collectively, because otherwise your marriage will not last. And you have to do that on purpose, meaning that you have to hold yourself responsible and accountable to everything that you do and everything that you don't do, the effort that you put in or the lack thereof. And whatever outcome you get is because of your effort or your lack thereof. You take that responsibility. You take accountability for whatever happens. And if anything goes south, know that you played a role in it.
Yeah. And that's what it is.
And marriage is still dope.
I love being married.
Marriage is the dopest thing that anybody can ever experience, regardless of what it might look like.
Yeah.
Because we have to keep growing. We have to keep getting better. And we get to enjoy every last bit of all of those outcomes with the person that we've decided to do life with. And that is freaking amazing. I get to share my happiest moments, my most joyful moments, my most greatest life experiences with a woman that I know values me and cares for me. Somebody who actually wants to see me win all the time. Yes. Like marriage is dope. I get that. I got a lifelong freaking cheerleader. Somebody who's rooting for me because every time I win, we win. Absolutely. Every time she wins, we win. Yeah. I get that for life. That is a dope thing. Who wouldn't want to sign up for that? Right. I don't need thousands of people telling me that they rooting for me online when they got their own lives going on. I'm doing life with somebody where my winning positively impacts that person. And we get to experience the joy of it all the time throughout life. Like, come on, man. Who wouldn't want to sign up for that?
Who wouldn't want to? I love it. I love it here.
I love it here.
I love it here.
Marriage is the best thing that could ever happen to a person. I believe that wholeheartedly when you do it right, with the right intentions and the right mindset, and you are very clear and have clarity on the person that you need in your life, knowing that the person you need and the person you want may not be the same person, because the person you need will expand you, which means that there's going to be a little chaos. There's going to be some discomfort, but it's going to ultimately make you better, because that's what they're there to do. And if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And sometimes the things that we want for ourselves, we don't necessarily need them. Because those things that we want are usually focused around complacency, laziness, around us not having to raise our standards, because we want things to be easy. And marriage itself, the person that you choose to be with, can be very easy, but growing is difficult because you have to be expanded.
Right.
I fire off, babe.
You firing.
You better grab me.
No, you good. No, this is really good.
Grab me.
No, this is good.
Yeah, man. In conclusion, family, marriage is dope.
And we're not going to stop talking about marriage. We're not going to stop talking about love. I love being a wife. He loves being a husband. We love each other. We ain't done. We just getting started. This is just a motherfucking warm up, baby.
Trying to tell y'all, man, because for everybody that's choosing to be silent, that don't want to speak up for how dope marriage is, we ain't one of them ones. We going to talk about it. We going to be loud about it, because people need to know that marriage is dope. Being committed is dope. Being held accountable is dope. Being in a relationship that expands you and makes you better is dope.
Yeah.
Like, all of that is amazing, and everybody need to come get you some, but you need to grow into being the person that can handle it and has the capacity to be able to deal with it responsibly, because it is going to stretch you, which is a good thing.
Yes.
It's lit over here.
Period.
We out, man.